Lagos State. If you have not stayed in Lagos, then you are enjoying life because Lagos can be brutal to anyone that steps their two legs into Lagos. So in this truthful and exciting video, I will talk about how living in Lagos State, Nigeria can be a daily struggle. Lagos isn't just a big city, it's a geographical paradise according to some analysts. It is one of the smallest states in Nigeria by land area, yet it has over 20 million people living in that same small state. Imagine stuffing the entire population of New York City into an area less than a quarter of its size. The result will be a brutal war for every square inch of space. Lagos isn't a cozy or a fairy tale state you often see or find in Tokyo or Paris. You can describe Lagos as a frantic, violent, and a scrambled place to live in. The public parks in Lagos are a myth because what you see online or in good movies is not what you see in Lagos. If you need a quiet corner to yourself, it will definitely be luxurious because everywhere in Lagos is tight. I mean extremely tight. And again, the quiet place you are looking for is not what small money can buy for you in that same Lagos. Your personal space is constantly invaded by the noise of your neighbor's generator, the smell of the street vendors' fumes, and the press of bodies in a downfall bus. The city's physical smallness creates a psychological claustrophobia. You are never truly alone, and the city energy, while vibrant, is inescapable and relentless. This lack of breathing room is the first layer of the squeeze, preparing you for the battle that begins the moment you step outside. If the city's smallness is a trap, its road network would definitely be an additional problem for you. The infamous go-slows are not just a mere traffic jams, they are the constant daily practice in Lagos, be it in the morning, afternoon, and evenings. You must face it whether you like it or not. A distance of 10 kilometers is not measured in miles but in hours, whether it is 2, 3, and sometimes 4 solid hours. It is that bad. Your car will have to be your second home because you don't have any choice. The mental calculation is exhausting, and let me give you an example. If you leave your house in Ajah by 5:30 a.m., you will have to get to Ikeja by 9 a.m. provided there is no broken down truck on the Lekki-Epe Expressway. But if there is, then you will be in big trouble. This isn't just lost time, it's a stolen life. It's the hours you could have spent with your family, learning a new skill, exercising, or simply resting. The road system actively discourages exploration, socializing, and spontaneity. It turns every trip into a strategic military operation, draining your fuel, your patience, and your will to do anything, even when you get home. If you haven't experienced it, try and test it for just 1 week, then you'll be the one to testify what I am talking about. One of the most visible and deadly symptoms of weak oversight and enforcement is Nigeria's building collapse crisis. Between 2022 and September 2025, the country recorded 145 building collapse incidents, with Lagos State alone accounting for half of these disasters. In 2025, Lagos witnessed at least 9 collapse incidents, resulting in multiple fatalities, and people in Lagos are painting the constructions as weak enforcement. The use of below standard materials and total disregard for safety standards scares a lot of Lagosians. This epidemic is a direct result of systematic failures. Expert points to below standard materials, poor supervision, and corruption as the main culprit in every building collapse. A structural consultant highlighted that most of the blocks sold in the open markets are far below the required strength, while a Lagos-based practitioner lamented that regulators are reactive rather than proactive, often appearing after buildings have collapsed and lives has been lost. it is really well with Lagos. Paying a king's ransom for a peasant house has become a normal thing in Lagos. The combination of extreme population makes landlords increase their rent because if you don't pay, another person will pay instantly. Let me put it this way for you. Rent in Lagos is not a payment for shelter. It is a form of economic and brutal violence that you have to fight for till the very end. And if you win, then consider yourself a warrior. The most painful irony is the complete disconnect between what you pay and what you get. You could pay the equivalent of a lovely house in a quieter Nigerian city for a cramped two-bedroom apartment in Lagos suburb where the light is out all the time and water will come from a rower that pushes water jerrycans. Landlord demands too. Sometimes 3 years rent upfront, a sum that can wipe out a family's entire life savings or plunge a young professional into crippling debt. This system creates a perverse reality. You are working not to build a future, but to simply keep a roof over your head in the present. The dream of saving to eventually owning a home feels like a cruel joke when all your incomes is consumed by the accumulating cost of renting a basic apartment. It's a system designed to keep you on a hamster wheel, running furiously just to stay in the same cramped and overpriced spots. Lagos State has cemented its position as African economic powerhouse. In 2023, its GDP reached a staggering $259 billion, making it the second largest city economy on the entire continent, trailing only Cairo that is in Egypt. The state economy is also experiencing rapid growth, expanding to 27.38 trillion naira in the first half of 2024, a substantial increase from the previous year. However, this intense economic strength does not reflect into the high quality of life for the Lagosians. The Economist Intelligence Unit Global Livability Index for 2025 ranked Lagos 168 out of 173 cities worldwide, categorizing it as among the least livable urban centers on the planet. With an overall score of 43.5 out of 100, the report suggests that most aspects of living in the city are severely restricted because of the way Lagos is. They call Lagos the center of excellence, but Lagosians call it "This is Lagos," a title that sounds impressive until you find yourself stuck in its daily grind. For the millions who call this place home, that excellence often feels like a reward reserved for a selected few, while the rest are left to navigate a unique and exhausting reality.